This video shows a part of Officer Oakley's pattern and practice of terrorizing Black North Carolinians.
Lawyers representing the citizens in these cases say others have also come forward with complaints against this same officer.
Put your hands behind your back.
Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at several cases of police misconduct, including an incident where officers brutally restrained a woman using a police dog and excessive force, violating multiple policies and her constitutional rights during what should have been a medical response. Such was the case when a schizophrenic man died in police custody after the officers neglected to take him to the hospital when it was necessary. In the summer of 2021, in Jackson County, Indiana, a 29-year-old man by the name of Josh McLemore, with diagnosed schizophrenia and substance abuse, was in the midst of an acute mental health crisis. He was taken to an emergency room to be evaluated after his apartment manager found him in his apartment, naked, confused, and disoriented. Shortly after, however, he was arrested for pulling a nurse's hair, placed in handcuffs and leg shackles, and then carried out of the hospital naked. Upon arriving at the jail, McLemore was taken to the padded isolation cell and remained there almost continuously.
Drop it down, get on your knees. Get on your knees. Get down, on your knees. I can't wait until they bring you up. On your knees. Sit right there. No. Sit right there in that corner. Going back out, guys. Going back out. Give your other hand here. Come on, let your hand in, please. Stay right here in the corner. Go ahead, guys. Stay right there.
Lost in his own world due to his mental condition, Mr. McLemore spent his time in the confined cell battling with his schizophrenia. Though food was delivered to McLemore's cell door 2 or 3 times a day, he either didn't retrieve it or would dump some of it or all of it on the floor of his cell, which was littered with urine, feces, and torn food containers. Moreover, while in the cell, Mr. McLemore lost nearly 45 pounds. Rather than immediately take him to a hospital, however, the department continued to place him under solitary confinement. Considering the amount of danger the victim was in due to malnutrition and dehydration, the officers were evidently neglecting his well-being and violating a human rights policy set forth by the United Nations, which states, "Law enforcement officials shall ensure the full protection of the health of persons in their custody and, in particular, shall take immediate action to secure medical attention whenever required." At some periods during his stay, officers entered his cell and began forcefully detaining him so that staff could clean his cell.
Alright, dirty boy, relax. Okay, please, pocket. Roll over. On your belly. Please, do. Anything. Okay. Get it up, break game, please. Got that. Oh man, we're just gonna bring you out here so you can have your cell, okay? Okay, can we put some flash, please, what's that? I did have the, I did not. Calm down, man. We're just gonna clean up your cell, okay? Liberty? Oh, Liberty? Alright. Ease up and down, hey, there is a deputy by right here close enough. Okay, here. Hey, get up. All right. Over there, you? Okay, all right. I'm gonna do it like that.
This was one of 4 times that Mr. McLemore was taken out of his tiny prison. The officers in charge of supervising him claimed that this was mainly when jail employees would strap him to a chair and put him under a shower or clean his cell. After showering him, the officers would always promptly return the victims to his cell. Unfortunately, due to neglecting the lack of food he ingested, the officers came to a shocking yet expected revelation upon a return trip to the victim's cell.
You want some more drink? Yeah?
Only now, finally realizing that something was amiss, the officers and staff present, along with EMS, quickly tried to get a read on the victim's current physical state.
Ready? Huh? Can you talk to me? Talk to me? You have? Where's your arms at?
Sadly, by the time staff finally sent Mr. McLemore to the hospital, his condition was so dire that the local hospital did not have the clinical resources to treat him, and he had to be airlifted to a larger hospital in Cincinnati. Since they were late, however, the victim sadly died only 2 days later. As a result, a lawsuit filed on behalf of the victim's estate was brought against Jackson County, its Sheriff Rick Meyer, 3 jail employees, a doctor who oversaw clinical issues and procedures for the county and jail, and the company that provided healthcare services at the facility, Advanced Correctional Healthcare. According to the suit, Mr. McLemore's death was the result of multiple acts of indifference as well as systemic and unconstitutional deficiencies in the county's policies, practices, and training programs. It also brought a claim for the violation of the victim's 14th Amendment rights, accusing all defendants of causing him unnecessary pain and suffering, and ultimately unavoidable death, and thus was seeking compensatory and punitive damages. However, despite the incriminating footage, a 2022 investigation by the Jackson County prosecuting attorney found that no crimes were committed by jail employees in relation to McLemore's death. As of the date of this recording, no further information is available. Next up, we have an incident where an officer unjustly tased a man and was thus liable for using excessive force. On September 20th, 2023, in Warrenton, North Carolina, Officer Mark Oakley spotted and pulled over a driver by the name of Dwayne Hicks for allegedly not turning on his headlights while driving after sunset. The following footage showcases the events that transpired.
Get your hands off my car, Oakley.
How you doing, sir? Sergeant Oakley, Warrenton Police Department. Do you have your driver's license with you?
About what your name is, Oakley.
Do you have your driver's license with you, sir?
I keep my driver's license with me, Oakley.
All right. Well, if you can go ahead and get that out for me, sir. The reason I'm pulling you over today is you're operating a motor vehicle after sunset without your headlights on.
My headlights were on. They come on when you start the car.
All right, sir. Well, there's no tail lights, so there you go.
So you stopped me because I ain't had no tail lights on?
Yes, sir.
And that means what, Oakley?
That means I can write you a citation if you like.
You can write.
Are you
gonna
produce your driver's license?
Yeah, you know I got driver's license, Oakley. I keep driver's license.
Okay. This is how I do every stop, sir.
Need you respond 251 Mellow Russell Road, Manson.
I don't have to give them to you.
Actually, you do, sir. I have to inspect them.
Would be a 14-year-old African-American male.
Do you want to give me a reason to lock you up?
You can't lock me up for nothing, Oakley. They're presented.
I have to be able to inspect them, Mr. Hicks.
You can inspect them with your eyes, not
No,
with your
sir.
hands.
I need to see the front and back of it and hold it in my hand to
Here's
make sure
the
that all
back
the
of it.
security devices that are part of that driver's license are active.
Okay, what's the security devices? Because I don't know what they are.
Okay. I can give it back.
26, correctional.
After sitting for more than 10 minutes in his police car, Officer Oakley later got out with a screwdriver and approached the back of Mr. Hicks' vehicle. After that, he began trying to remove the car's license plate.
On Temple. All right, Mr. Hicks. Got a few things for you here. Here's your driver's license back. All right. Here are the screws that hold your license plate on.
Go ahead with
All right.
Why didn't you put them back where you got them from?
Because there's a pickup order on them. It's showing there was an insurance stop.
That's fine, but I have insurance, Oakley.
Okay, well, not according to DMV. This is a receipt for your license plate. All right, if you'll sign the middle of it, I can give you a copy of it, and you can go to DMV and get your license plate back once they confirm you've got proper insurance. Do you want your?
Yeah, hold on just a second.
Okay, I don't have time to hold on, sir. I have other things to do tonight.
No, you ain't
I printed off.
Oakley, you holding me up, and now you got to run. Come on, Oakley. You can't do that. You go on the night shift, dog.
Are you done arguing?
No, I'm not arguing. I'm saying
Okay.
you just hold on.
Well, I'm going to show you right here. It shows vehicle has an insurance stop, insurance policy termination date 6/21/2023 with a pickup order. Would you like a copy of that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, there's your copy of that. All right. Do you want to sign this receipt?
Hold on, Oakley.
Do you want to sign this receipt?
Yeah, I am. Just hold on. I'm
All
gonna
right.
get them on the line.
I've written you a citation, sir. I don't need to talk to them.
That's fine, Oakley.
I've written you a citation, sir.
Don't try to rush through it, Oakley. You done held me up, so now, hello? You hold.
All right, sir. The citation's on.
Slow down.
The citation
Slow
is
down,
for.
Slow down, Oakley. Slow down.
Do you want me to explain the citation, or were you able to read it?
No, I want you to slow down for a second.
All right, sir. I'm not going to slow down. I'm going to go ahead and read this to you.
Oakley.
Without having full force and effect of financial responsibility, basically it says you don't have any insurance on the vehicle. All right. You failed to have all originally equipped rear lamps or equivalent in good working order.
Representative.
And you were operating a vehicle at such a slow speed as to impede normal traffic. All right. Your court date on this is going to be November 28th. You're more than welcome to pay it off if you like. It's $291.
Oh, I'm not going to pay it off.
All right, I'll see you in court. I'm going to mark on here that you refused to sign this because I've given you several times.
You can't. I didn't tell you I wasn't going to sign it. I told you I was going to sign it.
Well,
now
there's
you
your
gonna tell
receipt.
me I refused
Have
to
a nice
sign
day,
it.
sir.
Oakley, hold on, buddy.
No.
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 Hold on, Oakley.
No.
Hold on.
Why are you yelling? I'm going to cite you for disturbing the peace next.
Oakley, hold on, don't go.
I'm going to cite you for disturbing the peace in a minute.
Probably about 15 minutes or so. We'll be en route to the area to look for them. I believe it will be 73.
After dealing with Mr. Hicks, Officer Oakley drove off. Meanwhile, Mr. Hicks began driving home. in order to figure out what to do next. However, it was at this point that Officer Oakley began following him because he operated his vehicle illegally. Upon arriving at the driver's front yard, Officer Oakley came rushing out of his vehicle with a weapon pointed at Mr. Hicks' face.
Pulling into the residence 107 South Hall Street. Remain in your vehicle, Mr. Hicks. Remain in your vehicle, Mr. Hicks. Remain in your vehicle. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. Turn around, behind your back. Hands behind your back.
You better get off me.
Put your hands behind your back.
You better get off me, boy.
Show me your hands and put your hands behind your back. Don't now put your hands in your pocket.
Shut up, fool.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back, do it now. Turn around, put your hands behind your back, do it now. Put your hands behind your back, Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, put your hands behind your back.
Oakley.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Do it. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Although some may argue that the officer was justified in using his taser, that simply wasn't the case. This was because he failed to account for verbally warning the victim, regarding which the ACLU taser policy states, a verbal warning of the intended use of the taser should precede its application, unless it would otherwise endanger the safety of officers or when it is not practicable due to the circumstances. The purpose of the warning is to provide the individual with a reasonable opportunity to voluntarily comply and to provide other officers and individuals with a warning that a taser may be deployed. If, after a verbal warning, an individual is unwilling to voluntarily comply with an officer's lawful orders, and it appears both reasonable and practical under the circumstances, the officer may, but is not required to, display the electrical arc of the taser in a further attempt to gain compliance prior to the application of the taser. The aiming laser should never be intentionally directed into the eyes of another, as it may permanently impair their vision. The fact that a verbal or other warning was given or the reasons it was not given shall be documented by the officer deploying the taser. Considering that the officer only told Mr. Hicks to put his hands behind his back, he failed to warn him that he would be tased and therefore violated this policy.
Put your hands behind your back. Get on the ground, face down, stay on the ground. Stay on the ground. Stay on the ground.
Although the officer could have used bodily force to detain his target, he continued to torture the driver by using his taser. Obviously, this blatant use of excessive force violated another ACLU taser policy, which states, the taser is a use of force and is to be used only when necessary to overcome resistance while effecting an arrest, preventing an escape, in self-defense, or defense of another person from physical harm, and in accordance with this department's use of force policy.
You just got yourself an RDO charge. Persistent land obstruction.
I can't believe you did that.
William 2061 Warren County, show me 1072. RDO. Roll over in your sack. Lift this foot towards your chest.
I can get up, Oakley.
Okay, come on, let's get
Don't
up.
pull my arm, man.
Well, then get up, come on.
I can get up. I can get up.
I'm trying to help you up, come on.
Oakley. I can get.
Have you got any weapons on you?
I don't carry weapons, Oakley. I don't care. Those are keys.
Just keys?
All is keys. I got keys in my front pocket, keys in my back pocket.
All right.
What you breathing so hard for, Oakley?
Because you got...
Around 7 months later, lawyers filed a lawsuit on Mr. Hicks' behalf to seek the release of body camera footage from Officer Oakley, who was under investigation by the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation for improper use of force. Despite this, there's still been no further news regarding this situation. Sadly, even the events that transpired in this case were tame compared to an incident in which officers brutally restrained a woman, resulting in her untimely death. On March 24, 2022, in Clovis, California, officers responded to a 911 call regarding a 35-year-old woman by the name of Isabelle De La Torre, who began acting erratically and out of control, with the caller believing that she might be having a stroke.
During the 911 call, you will hear mention of the baby in the background. It should be noted that there was no baby in the apartment.
No, I'm not letting go.
911, take emergency.
I need an ambulance. I think my grandson is having a stroke.
What is that?
The address? Hello? 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 I can hear you. Hello?
Am I on speakerphone?
Yes. Am I here? Hello?
On speakerphone?
Yes, I did. I just did right now.
Okay, what is the address of the emergency?
222 West Alamos. 222 West Alamos Avenue. Hello. 222 West Alamos. Clovis, California, 93612.
What apartment number are you in? What's the problem?
Upon arriving at the scene, an officer was able to locate the caller and thus began asking her what exactly transpired.
Being shown first to provide the circumstances of why the person called 911. The person's face has been blurred to protect their identity.
I need to get just a few more details on how she called you, just kind of her conversation with you.
Well, when I got here, like I said, she looked like she wasn't that bad as she was in the restroom. She got to open me the door. She said, "Come in, dog," cause something's in me. And it wasn't like dramatic like she was, but she was already starting to I don't know, like going possessing or something. And then she's walking towards her room, and I'm walking right behind her. I closed the door, I walk behind her, and then she's like, cause I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, what did you do? What are you doing? What happened here, man? D-Max, that's what we call her. We know her.
D-Max.
And I'm like, she's like, cause I'm telling you, I'm get it. And I'm like, what? I'm like trying to grab her hand. I'm like, what is it? And then she goes, get it. And then she started trying to hurt herself. I'm like, no, don't do that. So
when she was trying to hurt herself, was that she was trying to grab?
Yeah, she was just trying to, I don't know, get something out of her arm. And then she kept on telling me it was in her arm. It was in her arm the whole time. I'm like, what is it? What is it? She's like, get it. Okay. And then she goes to the restroom, and I go behind her. Should never have done that. Should have never done that, because that's when she just went back, hit her head, and then she just started going in circles with her legs, starting kicking everything started. And I'm trying to grab water and put some in her head, trying to see if she could calm down with the water. It just made it worse.
Is that how the water turned on?
That's why I had the water turned on, because I was trying to put water in her head to see if she needed to relax.
After having a basic understanding of the situation, officers showed up at Miss Torre's apartment and began knocking on the door.
After knocking and waiting for over a minute, officers opened the unlocked door when hearing sounds of a possible disturbance inside.
Close police department. No, I can't hear anything. I do hear noises inside. Close police department! I hear a female. I hear Bev. Hear that?
Clovis Police!
Louis Police Department!
She said snap out of it.
Airman! Don't do this shit, bro!
Clovis Police!
Hey, Clovis Police, what's going on?
Okay?
Yeah,
What do you need?
What's going on?
He's going, I don't know, I'm trying to stop him, but
Stop
who is
him
it?
from what?
My friend Isabelle, she's going in the bathroom all crazy.
Does she have any weapons in there?
No, she don't have no weapons.
Has she had anything to drink?
No, not that I know of. I just barely got here and I was trying to see what was wrong with her.
What's wrong with her?
And I don't know, I just got here.
Who's filling with us?
3 pulse 51, I believe. What is she in distress? Is she bleeding? You gotta give us more details.
No, she's not bleeding. I was just, she let me come in.
Before doing anything else, the officers called over a canine handler and briefed her on the situation. What's strange, however, was the need for a canine unit to begin with. According to the use of force policy on canines, police canines are primarily used to assist in the location and apprehension of felony suspects who pose an immediate threat to the safety of officers, are attempting to evade arrest by flight, are involved in a crime of violence. However, considering that Ms. Torre didn't fit into any of the above criteria, the officers were not allowed to consider, let alone call for, the use of a canine unit.
Officers formulated a plan outside as the canine handler is briefed about the circumstances at 12 a.m., as you will see in the next video.
It looks like probably ingested something and went on a bad trip.
Okay.
She called her friend and said, something's inside of me, I don't feel good, get over here. So her friend comes over, she brings her in, and she says, it's in me, it's in me. She started going nuts, crazy, hitting things, beating things. She's on the floor in a tiny little bathroom. The water's running in the shower, there's blood on the ground, she's half dressed, looks like a male, and she is kicking, screaming. We tried to come in and talk to her, and she started kicking the door and everything, so we have to get her out of there. We can't leave her. She's definitely going to need medical treatment of some sort.
After being briefed on the situation, the officers and the canine handler walked back to the apartment, where they began trying to deal with the situation. What they didn't account for, however, was Ms. Torre immediately rushing out of the bathroom.
Officers see that De La Torre had become unresponsive and begins CPR. EMS then arrives inside the apartment and takes over medical aid. De La Torre is then transported to the hospital for treatment. She passes away 24 hours later.
You need the door open like that?
She slams it back closed.
She opens it, it's so back and forth, so it takes it shut. Yeah, so I need to slam up against that wall because I'm going to feed him in that way. So.
Hold on, let her get in. Let her get in.
Not latched, hang on. Everybody back up.
Got Dana's legs. Got Dana's legs.
Hang on.
Hey, just relax, man. Just relax.
Let go of my leg.
Let go.
Let go of her leg.
Let go of my leg. Yeah. So I have this.
Put your hand out.
Reach in and grab it.
Isabelle, put your hand out.
Boss.
Put your hand out.
Boss.
This one over.
That one. Okay, hang on.
I got it.
I'm going to pull him off.
Okay, we have legs.
Back out. Hang on. I don't want to get this close when I pull him off. You guys need to give her room to back out.
Despite there being multiple officers present, they still employed the use of a police dog, viciously biting the victim. Furthermore, its handler was briefly unable to control and stop her dog from injuring the victim any further. Needless to say, their actions violated the aforementioned policy on canines, which states, as applied to police dogs, a canine apprehension is a justifiable and lawful use of force if the threat to officers and the public is significant. The need for force must be sufficient to justify the canine apprehension. The circumstances of the event confronting the officer determined whether the use of force was lawful or unlawful. Furthermore, the use of the canine in an apprehension generally involves felony suspects. Therefore, through such an unlawful and violent seizure, the officers also violated the victim's fourth constitutional right, which states, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
If EMS isn't already on scene, have them respond code 3.
They were staged, they should be.
They're also delayed tonight.
Dan, I got you. Dan, I got you.
Okay. Security.
Well, Dean is secure and have EMS rolling.
Okay, he's cuffed. We'll get there. We have a good figure for him.
Hey, let's relax. We're here to help you. Just relax. We're here to help you.
Face it that way so it starts. How we're gonna pull him out. Okay.
Hey, just relax. We're here to help
We just pull him straight out, so yeah. And we'll feed it under him.
Yeah, it is.
You okay, Levi?
Yeah, we're good.
Just relax. Take a deep breath. Just relax.
Relax.
Take a deep breath. We're here to help you, okay? Try to just relax.
Or she always want to go straight to gurney? Or straight to board? Go straight to board? Or whichever they prefer. Straight to the wrap. Okay. That's a good for if you want to just push right there, yeah. Give us some pressure, yeah, on the legs to help them.
Yep, just like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take all of us to... Okay, just relax. There we go. Nice deep breaths, okay? We're here to help you. Nice deep breaths. Don't grab my hand. Nice deep breaths. There we go. Relax. Okay, just relax. There we go. Easy. Just, we're here to help you, okay? Try to relax and breathe. Try to relax and breathe. We're gonna try and figure out what's going on. Are you okay? Try and put your head to the side.
Is there anything you can do pressure on the back of the neck? You got a med kit?
Yeah, I got a med kit on the
You can grab a glass. You got a big old gash.
Shoot aisle.
Well, we're just gonna put a gauze on it. Dana's in there.
Oh, Dana's in there. Oh, never mind.
Thank you. Okay. It's on the other side. If you would. You've got a couple. Can you get one more?
Yep. We're with this.
Okay.
For all of their attempts to try and calm the victim down, they failed to account for the fact that they were only leading her to her doom instead. From the way they'd positioned themselves on the victim, they were actively hindering her breathing, thus resulting in Ms. Torre gradually falling into silence. According to the SCRJ model policy, chokeholds are defined as lethal hands-on maneuvers that may cut off the supply of blood and oxygen to the brain, and include under this definition strangleholds, neck restraints, and carotid restraints. Any and all chokeholds are prohibited under the policy. In the chokeholds chapter, the model policy also outlines directives and prohibitions on breathing impairments. Breathing impairments include strikes to the neck and positional asphyxia. By placing the victim in a state that causes positional asphyxia, the officers violated this policy. This fact was further highlighted when the officers later realized that Ms. Torre did not appear to be breathing.
No.
Yes.
Yep.
Pulse on.
they're worried about on the board up. Are we able to carry down to the grass, or is it going to be?
It's going to be easier on the board than all fluffs.
How's
like
any
that.
belly movement?
Are you breathing?
You got
Are you breathing?
Right.
Now. There we go. Okay. Good. Nice deep breath, okay? Are you with us?
I'm not saying
Is it EMS?
Hey, get him up here now.
EMS needs to come up here now. Hey, they need him now. He's unresponsive.
Okay. Come on side. Pull out the legs. Go.
Get some pressure right there on the
Do we
neck.
want to move the cuffs?
No.
Okay.
Good pulse.
Yeah, I got you.
We have a bag.
Family help. We got pulses or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not compression. You got pulses. Got you. Okay, no, I got you. No problem. All right, let's get the flat and get him down. If we're not touch this flat, we'll flatten him. Yeah, flat. Yep.
Now, this way, like 30 seconds. Where was the bite? Convulsing PCP on the neck. Okay.
Let's see, we're still breathing.
And shoulder.
Let's
get him in this or back over there. PCP was what we were told was on board.
Well, we can't confirm it, but that's everything I've seen.
No, I think we lost pulse.
He's got a pulse.
We got it?
Yeah, he's got a pulse. Of course, second, third, he was now responsive, and then
Yeah, I got him. Yeah, well, there we go. We're agonal. Let's
District 503, Shaw, Cross Villa, 323 West Shaw.
you want to leave your cuff for now, then we get down, and then we get him to the board just in case we come back out?
roll.
All right, yep.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you following?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're pulseless right now?
No.
No pulse. Pulse is there.
We got a pulse. We're
She breathing? Having issues breathing?
we were breathing. We're slightly agonal. We were breathing, and now we're not. So we got to start bagging.
Sure.
Let's get him down.
Back and forth.
You want me to get?
I got you.
After EMS arrived, they placed her on a backboard to be taken to a hospital. Unfortunately, only 24 hours later, she died at a community regional medical center. After finding out what had happened, the victim's family filed a wrongful death suit against the Clovis Police Department. In it, the family alleged that Miss Torre needed medical attention, but was instead met with excessive force that caused her death. Although the department said they were still investigating, there's still been no new information regarding this incident. Although the victim in this next case thankfully didn't pass away, it still didn't excuse the actions of the officers who punched and tased the mentally ill man for simply walking down a street with a beer in his hand. On May 8, 2021, in San Diego, California, a schizophrenic man by the name of Jose De Leon said he was at a downtown trolley station just after 10:30 p.m. when he saw officers approaching him while walking down Market Street. The officers, according to a subsequent internal affairs investigation, were responding to a call that 2 Hispanic males were harassing people. The following footage showcases what happened next.
Alright. What's going on? Hey, don't put your hands in your pocket. Okay?
Right.
What are you doing back there? Just drop that bag for me. Thank you. Drop the bag all the way. Okay? Face away from me. Stop reaching in there. Face away from me. Face away.
Face towards the wall.
Face the wall.
Well, hold
Okay, you're being detained right now. Put your hands behind your back. Hey, don't fight.
Hey, okay, don't.
Hey, don't. You're gonna get tased. Okay. Turn around.
All right.
Turn around.
Out of nowhere, for no justifiable reason, the officers began trying to detain Mr. De Leon, despite having no evidence for whether or not he was their target. By failing to first question the victim, and instead going as far as threatening to tase him, the officers violated the de-escalation policy, which, according to the U.S. Department of Justice, states officers will be trained in de-escalation tactics and techniques designed to gain voluntary compliance from a subject before using force, and such tactics and techniques should be employed if objectively feasible, and they would not increase the danger to the officer or others. When feasible, reducing the need for force allows officers to secure their own safety, as well as the safety of the public.
No, don't touch me.
Taser deployed. 520 taser deployed.
Man,
put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back, bro. Get that on him? Yeah, I got you.
Not only did the officers violently throw the victim to the ground, but one of them also tased him in the process, resulting in the taser's barbs being lodged into the victim's midsection. By doing so, the two deputies violated their department's use of force policy, which states the preservation of order and the observance of the law are best achieved through voluntary compliance rather than force or compulsion. The higher the level of voluntary compliance and cooperation, the less need for force. To that end, the use of force must always be considered secondary to the desirability of voluntary compliance. When the need for the use of force arises, deputies may use objectively reasonable force to effect an arrest, prevent escape, overcome resistance, or in self-defense or defense of others. It is the responsibility of the sheriff's office and all sworn personnel to ensure force and restraint are used in a manner that not only provides for public safety, but for officer safety as well.
Do not resist, sir. Okay. Okay? 510, we have one SRC. Heart moment recovery. Come on. Negative will be just one male. Negative. You're not injured? No. Well, I'm on his side. Recovery position.
Hold on, man.
Okay, are you injured?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Why are you fighting, bro?
Yeah, I know.
Okay? Alright. 520, can I?
I'm at work.
Negative. We can just start medics, start talking some breathing. 35-year-old male. Completed pain will be to the head. Alright. Sit up. You alright, James?
I can't sit.
You got me. You're tased?
A little bit.
Okay. Bad? Okay, let's just have you eval.
It's also important to note that since the officer's use of force was so excessive that they had to call an ambulance, they unjustly, severely injured the victim as well. Furthermore, according to the ACLU's taser policy, manufacturers generally recommend that reasonable efforts should be made to target lower center of mass and to avoid intentionally targeting the head, neck, chest, and groin. Considering that the man was shot in his midsection, which was also apparent from the video, the officers put Mr. DeLeon in further danger. After the arrest, the officers took the victim to the hospital, where they interviewed him regarding what he was doing during their encounter.
When you saw us, why did you suddenly grab your stuff and start walking away? And then when I told you like multiple times to stop, you didn't.
Yeah, I know. I was going because I was afraid. I was scared.
Okay.
Yeah. I figured, I don't know who called you but.
Okay, and then when I was asking you to turn around, put your hands behind your back, that stuff, why didn't you do that?
Say it again?
When I was trying to say, hey, turn around, put your hands behind your back, and you said no. And you
yeah, no.
Why did you do that?
Because I was scared again. Okay. I was afraid. Yeah, I'm schizo. Yeah.
You're schizophrenic?
Yeah, I'm schizophrenic.
Okay,
yeah.
Were you having like an episode during
that?
Yeah,
I have episodes, and that's why I drank. For it to go away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I was afraid. I don't know who called you or dispatcher or operator and so forth, but that's why I grabbed my pack of beer and I was leaving away.
Okay, so why Like when we grabbed you, did you start swinging?
Why I started swinging?
Yeah, you tried to punch at him. Was it because you're scared, or why did you?
Yeah, I was afraid because of the fact that I got into so many fights.
Okay, so you've been in fights in the past, and you were just afraid. That
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What were you planning on doing?
I just wanted to grab my beers. I just wanted to go home. That was it.
A few months later, an internal affairs investigation found the use of force to be excessive, stating in part, the punch used by Officer Colbert was not within the San Diego Police Department's policy and procedures use of force and was unreasonable. Unsurprisingly, Mr. DeLeon filed a federal lawsuit against the officers. Moreover, according to it, he was treated for a head injury after his arrest and was subsequently booked in jail on resisting arrest charges, a charge that the district attorney later dropped. Shortly after being released, Mr. DeLeon returned to the hospital where, according to the lawsuit, he was diagnosed with an acute kidney injury and acute diverticulitis due to the blunt force trauma from the arrest. One of his representatives, Mark Conan, said that the police department's own internal investigation proved that the force used on his client was excessive. He further went on to state that the police department exists for the protection of the communities they serve and should be responsible for treating their assigned community and its citizens with dignity, fairness, and respect. When SDPD officers punched Mr. DeLeon in the head while he was already on the ground and not engaged in assaultive conduct against the officers, their use of force was not within the permissible scope of force. Regrettably, as of the date of this recording, there's been nothing new regarding the lawsuit. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter